All right, everyone out there, thank you so very much for watching DSP Reacts to the story of ProJared, the June the King documentary. I'd first like to say thank you, June the King, for letting me do this. Check out his channel. Very good channel. I think he's a very good documentarian. I think he's a good speaking voice, but also he does his research. That was pretty cool that he had, Stuttering Craig from Screw Attack on this to give supplemental information. This is part 2. If you didn't see part 1 yet, it should already be live here on DSP Reacts. Give it a look. And I'm uploading these in hour-long increments. There'll be many more parts, probably at least another 1 to 2 more parts after this one. And thanks. Again, if you're liking this content, please consider liking the videos, leaving comments, becoming a member. Super thanks, a tip, all much appreciated. But in the meantime, let us continue. I think this is now going to be ProJared going solo. Let's see how this goes.
Veering back to Jared and his departure from Screw Attack, he was now dedicated to his channel. His content was more plentiful, but still inconsistent. He was jumping from 1-minute reviews of games, let's plays, recordings of panels, and retrospectives. It was all tied together under older and sometimes newer games. And it was working. From October, he saw a 50% subscriber increase, sitting at 30,000 subs. The next month brought 10,000 more.
Nice.
These first 2 months since being fired from Screw Attack were both important and difficult. He was barely staying on top of things due to YouTube AdSense. Even with frugal spending, after paying his bills, he was left with around $40 in his bank account.
Wow.
Tempting him to get a traditional job elsewhere.
Keep in mind, all right, when I was at the height of my popularity, full-time YouTuber, I was bringing in 10 million views a month, and that was crazy good money, okay? This was over 10 years ago. This is when ad revenue on YouTube was great. If he's bringing in less than 1 million views a month back then, yeah, I can believe that he's barely making enough to pay his bills, if that. I 1,000,000% believe that. You had to be big fish. You did.
The importance of these months relevant to YouTube was that his channel was running off the high of his viral video, which allowed a small window of rapid growth that, once closed, would make it ever more difficult to grow.
And this is, again, the problem with YouTube. You get that algorithm hit, and you have to somehow find a way to continuously capitalize on that algorithm hit. You have to try to go for hit after hit after hit, because if you don't, and you say, well, I liked making that video, but that's not the kind of video I want to make. I want to do other stuff. You'll be right out of that algorithm within like 2 months. And then all that goodwill you built up from the people who liked that video, it's all gone. It's kind of similar to what happened with me a little bit with KO Gaming,
Not fully taken advantage of. Meaning that none of his videos were getting even 2% of the views his Slender video was getting.
Right.
But the combined efforts of all of them boosted attention to the rest of his channel, and meant that in that combined effort, the regular uploads were getting a similar boost from the algorithm as his one viral video. Being recommended was his review series and Let's Play style series, often tackling different challenges like the Nuzlocke Pokemon Challenge, where players are required to release any Pokemon that faints at any point in the game, adding content for not only his channel, but also his Twitch stream. His channel, like the other game review channels around him, saw steady growth with each...
Let's take a look here. This is 2015. Wow, they went forward 3 years. That's a lot of fast forwarding. So, yeah, take a look. By 2015, he has 500,000 subscribers, and he's gaining hundreds a day. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. He's getting great views. Take a look. Yeah, he's doing good, man. By 2015, he's doing good. He's self-sufficient now.
Month, getting on average more views than the last. By the start of 2014, he sat comfortably at 200,000 subs.
Shout out to Swagonito, who just became a standard member of the channel. Thank you so much, Swagonito, for supporting the DSP Reacts project here. I appreciate that. Good to have you. Thank you very much. They were up to 56. Awesome. There we go. You're welcome, Derek. He's thanking me for doing this today. You are welcome. So, this was, what, 2014? He had 200,000 subs. See, of course, now people are going to say, well, what's the parallels with DSP Gaming? The funny part was, I had dramatically more viewership than this guy ever had at this point. At this point, I had hundreds of millions of views on my channel, and overall my channel's bringing in probably millions upon millions of views a month. The problem was, my style of content was mass upload. I was not the edited guy. He's editing his videos. He's doing edited series. I'm not doing that. I'm doing mass raw let's play. So when I'm doing that, people don't want to subscribe because their inboxes are flooded. So even though I always had under 200,000 subs on DSP Gaming, I'm bringing in way more views than all my contemporaries because I'm putting out so much content. So on paper, it doesn't look like I'm big, but in reality, I'm much bigger than most of my contemporaries. But the problem is YouTube judges off of number of subs. I know that sounds stupid, but it does. So I was the guy pumping in the views and getting all the viewership, but not getting the recognition. While someone like him, for only having a YouTube channel for 2 years and he's at 200,000 subs already, that looks amazing. So people would look at that and be like, whoa, thumbs up to ProJared, even though he didn't even have, I mean, you saw in 2015, he only had 70 million views. I had over 300 million at that point. You see? Very different. But it is what it is. That's great for him. 200,000 subs within a couple of years is huge.
With his peers getting similar, continued success, like Peanut Butter Gamer, who he had known since his time managing Screw Attack's game store, and JonTron, who as the years passed grew closer too, it made sense for those making this content to collaborate. These efforts went further than a cameo in a video, because it brought back the Normal Boots website. A website initially established around 2010, its purpose was for collaborators, namely JonTron and Peanut Butter Gamer, to earn revenue where it wasn't always available on YouTube.
Oh, so this isn't YouTube. They did their own independent website, and they ran their own ads on it? That's interesting. I never even heard of this.
Though with the increase of monetizable videos and YouTube's partnerships taking hold, it was no longer necessary to run, leading to its closure in 2012.
Oh, okay.
But now, it was being resurrected in 2014. Its founding group, alongside new members like ProJared, similarly unsatisfied with...
Let's see. JonTron, Peanut Butter Gamer, Continue, ProJared, The Completionist, Satchbag, and Did You Know Gaming. Out of all those people, I believe JonTron, who got canceled multiple times, is still a big content creator. Peanut Butter Gamer, I believe, is still a big content creator. I've never heard of Continue. ProJared, I believe, still makes content. The Completionist, is that who I think it is? The Completionist? Hold on, I'm going to delete my webcam for a second so you can see what's under there. Completionist, is that still popular, or is that someone else I'm thinking about? I can't remember. Satchbag, I never heard of, so I don't know if they're still big or not. And Did You Know Gaming is someone I literally just reacted to last week. That was the Street Fighter one. They were huge like 8+ years ago, but I don't know if they're still huge anymore. I believe they're now under the Screenwave Media branch of partnership, which is weird because you literally don't need a partner network anymore on YouTube, but they are under one. I don't know why, but so a lot of these guys are still popular. I would say the only one I never heard of Continue, and I don't know who Satchbag is, but everyone else there is still, I would say, is still pretty prominent. You know, good 10 years later. Okay.
YouTube came together to reopen Normal Boots, where most members made exclusive and or allowed some content to be published on there first. This was in part formed because during this time, YouTube's Content ID system was targeting their channels. That meant a number of things, like the revenue of the videos going to the owner or the person who claimed the video, or it being taken down altogether. But this was not a problem on Normal Boots, and it even allowed for riskier content to be uploaded, as Jared explains in his now removed announcement video uploaded January 25th, 2014.
Here's the difference, because I should explain this difference. You might say, why was this such a problem on YouTube but not on an independent website? Because on YouTube, YouTube has this content ID system, where if someone flags your video and says, that's my content, YouTube just believes them. Okay, now back then it was awful. Today it's better. Not anyone could just claim anything. But back then it was just like, just believe everything. So, you know, people were getting their hard-earned work all claimed and shut down, and it wasn't fair. But if you have your own website, you don't have a content ID match system. You want to know how you take down something on an independent website? You actually have to go to a lawyer and actually make a lawsuit. And then you issue said lawsuit to the owner of the website with a cease and desist and a takedown order. And if they don't comply, now you'll have the ability to sue them in court. Guess how many people actually do that? 0. Everyone just abuses YouTube's content ID system. But the moment you're uploading somewhere else, it's rare that you would see anyone actually try to file a lawsuit against you. So what they're saying makes a lot of sense. Having this Normal Boot website gave them the freedom to upload what they wanted and have literal no risk of ever having takedowns. It's interesting. I mean, the thing is, it's expensive to own and operate your own website. A lot of people over the years ask me, why won't you do that? Because with the amount of viewership I was getting back in the day, over a decade ago, I would have had to pay, no exaggeration, thousands upon thousands of dollars a month to even maintain just the server space for the viewership I was getting on YouTube. Today, not so much. Today, probably would cost me like under $1,000 a month because I don't get a lot of views anymore. But back then, I was exponentially larger than I am now, and it was just not feasible. So I'm curious how they did this, how they pulled this off.
Normal Boots is back, baby. That absolutely is real. You can go to normalboots.com and see tons of brand new videos from all of us. I know some people are already wondering, why are you even doing this? Well, for a few reasons. You've no doubt heard about the YouTube content ID sweeps, and it has been affecting all of us. And with our own website, this will allow us to not have to worry about it. And even better, this will allow us to do a lot of things on Normal Boots that we couldn't do on YouTube. And because of that, Normal Boots is going to get a lot of exclusive videos because they just wouldn't work on YouTube.
This website, or even video cameos, were still not the extent of Jared and Friends collaborations. It became well known that Jared liked to attend conventions, and as his popularity increased, he hosted more and more panels. Yep. Many times he was on panels with other
these are all the things. If you're watching this video and you want to know what's the key to success, you're learning things from ProJared you could never learn from me because I didn't really do it. Number one, collaboration. Reach out and collaborate with other contemporaries. Have crossover events. That's going to help you grow exponentially. You're going to have people who like their content who will now check out yours, and people who like yours will check out theirs, right? That's something I really never did. I like to work with my friends. You know, John Rambo and Howard and other people who played fighting games and stuff. Those are the people who I had in my videos. I didn't gain any viewership from having them in the videos. They were just a part of my content, you see. He did a smart thing by jumping in with those other people. When he was starting off and becoming popular, he got a big boost. And I feel like that sounds to me like one of the major reasons why he had success. You understand? Now, another thing that they're getting at, conventions. Did I go to some conventions? I did. I absolutely did. But what ended up happening, I went to maybe 2 years, I was going to all these conventions, like 2012, 2013. And then what ended up happening was two things. This is how you don't play, where everyone on the internet just wanted to make fun of me. But in addition to that, other people who basically were doing similar things to me, but were doing the collaboration. They were writing the YouTube algorithm by doing the special thumbnail, the clickbait title. They were finding ways to basically steal my audience. And then they would go to the convention, and the convention would say, we want you as the featured guest. Yeah. 1 year, I was a featured guest at MagFest. Okay? It went super well. I had a full panel room. People were excited. It was excellent. The next year I tried to go to MagFest. Oh, well, we already have Game Grumps. Game Grumps. I was doing their content before they ever did it. Yeah, but they're more popular than you now. And that's what happened, is I kind of got left behind because I didn't evolve with the times like everyone else was. Everyone else was collaborating, writing the YouTube algorithm. I wasn't doing any of that. I just want to make content I like and be about myself, while everyone else was doing these other things and succeeding more than me because I didn't change with the times. I could tell you that now, but back then I was very stubborn and obstinate about it. But now I look back and I'm like, yeah, you know, if I had evolved, if I had changed for the better, if I had done all the things everyone else was doing on YouTube to be popular, I'd probably be humongous today. But instead, I just stayed in my lane and did my own thing and just saw a steady decline, while guys like ProJared did all the right things to grow and went up like this. You see? Can't fault him for that. All I can do is look back at my own perspective and be like, I guess I did it to myself because I wanted to be true to myself, and, you know, it is what it is. All right, let's continue.
Creator friends like Peanut Butter Gamer, The Completionist, and JonTron.
There you go.
The one taking place specifically in January of 2014 was one at MagFest 12.
MagFest! What did I just say?
The purpose of the panel, aside from the expected fan interactions, was to read hate comments as to showcase and make light of the most strangest and malicious ones. On this panel, there was an increasingly obvious pattern that the hosts address. Hate comments towards JonTron amounted to commenting on his weight. Those directed towards the completionist were based on his race that the commentator often got wrong. Those directed towards Peanut Butter Gamer, though he is heterosexual, were full of homophobic slurs.
Wow.
And those directed towards Jared often made fun of his appearance, specifically his face.
For example, it turns out I'm ugly as fuck. Ugly as fuck. You were in there. No, actually, 80% of the time, they are somehow making fun of the way I look or the way I dress. Or something that I can't even, like control myself.
No, exactly right. And I have to call this out again. This is so stupid. You don't like the guy, say, I don't like your content. I don't like your attitude. Who cares how he fucking looks? Who cares? You're watching his content. You decided to look at his face. He didn't choose to look like that. And some people don't find that in a negative. So, like, what does the fuck does this have to do with anything? You know? I hate this. It's so dumb. It is the dumbest argument. For people, you're going to attack people's looks on the internet. Yet, of course, it's always anonymous. Look at Mr. Anonymous, who probably looks like a fucking horse's ass, right? He's the one who's going to comment and say that shit.
But I hate his fucking face. I don't watch his shit. Only hear it.
Wow.
I didn't like that. I didn't like it, so I'm alright.
What's wrong with your face? They should just edit and replace that guy with you.
Everybody likes it that you're ugly. Thanks, man. Thank you.
This observation was also made by various users in the comments section.
Interesting to see how Peanut Butter Gamer's hate is mostly homophobic. ProJared is mostly based on his appearance. John's is about his weight, and Gerard's is about racially charged.
Maybe it was Jared's increased appearance on his iconic thumbnails or any other reason that drew people to comment and focus on his appearance.
Oh, that's great. Don't read the comments.
Such comments will hardly ever do well for any person's self-confidence. To offset this was an announcement on June 21st, 2014. After much anticipation, his girlfriend, who happens to be a cosplayer that he'd been dating for about 3 years.
Today I married this guy. Sorry for not inviting anyone. We had a tiny cute ceremony at our house. June 21st, 2014. Instagram. That's Twitter, not Instagram. Why does it say Instagram? Maybe they linked the accounts. Okay.
Was now his cosplayer wife. There was a second addition to his life this month. A second channel under the name of ProJared Plays. It being established to host Let's Play style videos and separate them from his channel.
Smart.
A now deleted gem of his channel was one of the videos his wife made an appearance on, where they played the dating sim Asagao Academy. The title of the video was Dating My Friends. On the topic of friends, Jared continued his trend of collaborations as he was the very first guest for the new Game Grumps series, Grumpcade.
Here you go. See? This is 1,000,000% where I failed. I will admit it now. I look back at my history. If I looked at my contemporaries, by the way, I should even say this too. Did you know? I've talked about this a little bit over the years. I had other content creators who wanted to work with me when I was big. What was the name of them? The guys who, SSOHPKC and his group. What was the name of his group that he was a part of? Man, I can't remember their name right now because they're not together anymore. They broke up. But whatever his group was, they wanted to collaborate with me all the time. Like any time that I was going to go to a convention and they were going to be there, they wanted to meet up and hang out and make crossover content. They offered to do content with me over the years, and I always turned them down. I can't remember the name of the group. Or the creatures. That's who they were. I always turned them down because in my mind, all right, I kind of felt like I wanted to succeed for me. I didn't want to succeed because someone knew me from someone else. And I think that was a really stupid attitude. Okay? I think that I should have branched out. I should have crossed over. Maybe if over the years, if someone actually had my back through all the controversy and all the nonsense that I've been through, I might have actually ended up coming out better on the other end. But literally, whenever it's all about just me, right? And you know what? Maybe to some extent, that was the right choice. Okay? Because honestly, with all the shit that I've been through and dragged through, maybe it's better that it's just on me. Because if there were other people associated with me who that rubbed off on, maybe that would have hurt them, and maybe I did make the right choice. You know what I'm saying? But definitely I can see where I made mistakes. I should have been looking and seeking to collaborate with people. I always felt, and this is the truth, I always felt I was a man on an island. I was a guy who, I'm making my own content, I'm here in my own lane, that's it. And if I bring in my friends who already exist, like John Rambo or whoever, that's great. But I'm not looking to go out there and say, who else is popular on YouTube who might want to do a crossover event or whatever. I never cared about that. I probably should have. You know, that's look at this is literally the recipe for success, what he's doing in this documentary. He reached out, and when he was trying to grow, he found his contemporaries. They latched onto each other. They made their independent site. They made crossover content. They appeared at conventions. They did everything necessary to succeed. I just stayed at home and made more content myself, and that was it. You know, very stubborn even to do things like direct capture or streaming, and even then I wasn't interacting with my audience. Like now I can look back and be like, shit. When you see a history of someone like this who absolutely succeeded because of the right choices, and then seeing that where my shortcomings are, why am I as small as I am today? Because I failed, because I didn't make the right choices. I should have been doing these things, you know. It is what it is. Okay, let's continue.
Series that often involve guests, hosted by none other than the Game Grumps member Rubber Ross.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could I announce who the first Grumpcat guest is?
Oh yeah, of course.
It's ProJared. Right in the front.
ProJared.
See, beloved.
It'll be soon.
Beloved
With
by
continued
everyone for
dedication to his
crossovers.
channels and appearances on others, 2015 was the peak of Jared's growth. This year alone,
Really?
he gained nearly 300,000 subs for a total of 750,000.
Wow, so in 1 year, he nearly doubled his subscribers on YouTube.
And Jared, at this point, and even the following years, has had a very typical and uninteresting rise in the content creator sphere. Any of these events, like optimization of his videos, collaborations, and establishments of a second channel, are hardly developments that are unique to him. Even his videos fall under a very recognizable format. And as far as YouTube content goes, trends on a very safe, drama-free line. Such safety allowed him to interview the then CEO of Nintendo America
Wow.
and have a short sub-1 minute appearance on the Nickelodeon original television series Game Breakers. The most he ever interacts with his audience is at panels or live streams. He's never even been interviewed besides quick questions thrown at him at conventions.
Really?
This is all to say that Jared, due to his
Not to say that I can't say that that's like me, because I've never been interviewed besides the quartering. I think I did one interview in like 2011 on a random show on the internet, and I did one interview with the quartering. That was it. I've never been interviewed otherwise than that, so interesting.
decision, or just because he is that way as a person, does well to separate his personal and content creator side. Or so we thought, but that will come into play later. There are many pros and cons to this, like the avoidance of drama, as he does not feel it necessary to give too much information about his personal life.
And that, my God, is that a great choice. Let me tell you, again, another thing he did right and I did wrong, I shared everything about my personal life. I was documenting it, I was posting it on social media, I was making videos about it constantly. And yes, 1,000,000,000%, it came back to bite me. 1,000,000,000. Like, that's one of my biggest regrets about my, I would almost say, my previous life before 2017, when I turned my life around for the better. That was one of my biggest problems, is that I constantly was revealing all this information to the internet that I definitely should not have, and it came back to bite me for sure. If you guys could bear with me for just 1 second. I know you guys probably can't hear it, but one of my neighbors outside, for some reason, is playing outdoor music. I don't know why. They never do. They decided to do it on a day when I'm doing a big React event, of course. So I had to close my window a little bit so you couldn't hear it. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, like, damn, that was the right choice. Because the more information you put on the internet that's not relevant to your content, the more people will try to pry into your life and get so deep into your private stuff that it will end up hurting you, you know, in the long run. And I know that now, but I didn't know that back then.
That lack of information can also be detrimental if he was ever to be involved in drama. His inexperience could make it difficult to keep his public perception a positive one, and information from his personal life, controversial or not, could always be manipulated by the person who uncovers it, making it seem that Jared hid this bit of information about his life because he knew how controversial it was, as opposed to not wanting to give away unnecessary information about his habits. As cryptic as this might seem, it will make sense in the coming minutes.
I'm sure.
We start in 2016.
Purple Pickle, thanks for another super chases. Oh, that was me bumping Drake outside. I'll turn it down. I know you're joking, but that's also creepy. Please tell me you're not really outside. Anyway. Quick reminder, everyone, if you're enjoying this show, this project of mine, my first long-form react, many ways you can support it. Liking the stream if you're here live. When we hit 200 likes, I'll do a celebratory bubble blow, a super chat, a super sticker, a membership, a gifted membership, a tip, all appreciated. This is my only streaming of the day. It would be great if we could get some more support in regards to, like, tipping, because this is it. I'm not doing any gameplay or anything else today. But supporting this channel in particular, memberships are huge. So thanks to the two people who become a new member, and just thanks in general for being here and chilling. All right, let's continue.
A time when Jared and some other channels like him are on a decline. His form of video game reviews are either losing favor in the algorithm or are not being innovative enough to keep audiences interested. So his subscriber growth by 2017 practically stagnated.
So let's see here. This is his subscriber growth. Monthly views, monthly subs. So his views are all over the place. Why are his views? Hold on. Can I rewind slightly? Hold on. I want to see this again. I want to pause it right away.
Favor in the algorithm or are not being innovative enough to keep audiences interested. So his subscriber growth by...
Okay, that's exactly what I wanted to see. His monthly views are staggeringly different. What on earth? Take a look at this. On 1 month, he has 4 million views. The next month, 3. The next month, under 1 million. Next month, under 1 million. Then he goes above 4 million again. What is going on with this? I mean, this is just me from an outsider's perspective because I don't watch his content. This screams lack of consistency. This says to me, what's happening with him is he's not uploading consistently enough, that his audience is now losing interest, and they're upset that he's not putting out enough consistent content. And when he does do a bunch of content, then they come back and they watch. But take a look at the trending subs. Exactly right. What ends up happening then? Only your hardcore fans are going to come back, and you're going to lose any semblance of new viewership. And it looks like that's exactly what happened. He went from getting 30, 40, 50,000 new subs a month down to under 10,000 a month and just tapering off, right? So, yeah, that's bad. I mean, he wants to be putting out a steady stream of content, and it sounds like he's inconsistent. Is that because of his personal life? Is that because he's traveling to all these conventions and it's taking too much time to do that rather than focusing on content creation in general? Don't know. But, yeah, that's bad. This is 2016. Okay. I'm trying to think in perspective of everything going on YouTube as well. So, all right.
2017 practically stagnated.
And again, according to June the King, you know, his years 2015, 2016 were his biggest years. Even just to prove, I mean, my biggest years, I was bringing in between 8 to 10 million views a month. I was much bigger than ProJared ever was in my heyday, but it didn't last. You know, he consistently stayed bigger
reach
longer
was
term.
limited to returning viewers that brought a steady amount of views, but no promise of growth and a certainty of a very calm decline. But we know that didn't happen. Jared's previous channel name was DMJared, standing for Dungeon Master Jared, or the person who organizes and sort of guides players through role-playing tabletop board games like Dungeons & Dragons. His real experience with the board game Dungeons & Dragons became useful when Jared and friends began a new series revolving around D&D. Involved were members of the Game Grumps, Jared, and Rubbeross's wife, Holly. This is one of the better-known collaborations between them all. Holly can also be seen in videos with Jared's wife, Heidi,
I'm a hipster. Hi, my name's Holly.
where the group cosplayed at conventions. But there was something going on. Jared's declining growth, due to the algorithm per se, wasn't really the reason for his lower view counts. It was his severe lack of uploads.
All right, he just confirmed it. He just stopped uploading as much.
Times in his earlier years, he uploaded several times a week. By May of 2019, he was sitting just above 1 million subscribers, and he only posted 2 videos in the last 9 months.
Whoa!
Periods like these
I mean, what? Now, hold on a second here. He only posted 2 videos in 9 months. Where's his income coming from? Unless you're telling me that this guy made so much income in his biggest days that he was sitting on a nest egg of money and he didn't have to work, right? How on earth are you not working for 9 months? Where, you know? Well, hopefully they'll explain it. That doesn't make any sense to me, right?
where creators are lacking motivation is common as it is in any other career field. The difference being creators set their own schedule and complacency is rampant. It becomes more common with the older a channel gets. As for Jared, looking not just at his channel, has been creating online content for 13 years. And looking at his community posts on YouTube, he wasn't keeping it a secret that...
Won't lie, 3 years ago, so this would have been... This documentary was made in late 2022. YouTube's year count was always wrong by a year. I know that sounds stupid, it always is. So technically this was this is probably like 2018. Won't lie, this has been a really hard year for me personally. I apologize for letting it affect my work and making videos so inconsistent. Hope you can recover from all this. We're proud of you for coming out about this. Stand up for yourself. Okay.
This year has been hard for him mentally, and it was affecting his workflow. Hence the break in videos. But he was due in for a different kind of break.
Here we go.
On May 8th, 2019, Jared on Twitter posted this statement that...
Okay, let's read it. All right? This is Jared posting on Twitter. A statement, my wife Heidi and I have filed for divorce. I know this may come as surprising and upsetting for many of you. Know that we do this so that we may both seek happiness for ourselves. During this time, you may see a lot of rumors, speculation, and gossip going around. I ask that you make your own observations and come to your own conclusions. Excuse me. I will add, this decision was reached after extensive individual therapy on my part and couples therapy together. With that said, this is all I plan on stating publicly regarding the matter. Haha. Right. Heidi's privacy, mental well-being, and discretion has always been and will remain my highest priority through all of this. It is my hope that we both exit the marriage with style and grace. I plan on continuing everything I do on my part, and then it's cut off. I guess we'll keep going here. Derek says, June the King is right. His last video was 1 month ago. He hasn't even uploaded since. Yeah, but Derek, I think he has other channels. I think he has more than one YouTube channel now, by the way. But anyway.
For the next few days caused his unassuming online presence to be no more, as he would rise the ranks of Twitter trending not just in the US, but also globally.
Yep.
This statement was announcing to the public, in reference to the first line, they, Heidi and Jared, were getting a divorce, and the wording makes it seem like it was a mutual decision.
Yeah, it does.
Jared then goes on to inform readers that they may see various sorts of misinformation and to use critical thinking, to not fall into the pitfalls, and there would be no more information on the matter, done to respect his soon-to-be ex-wife, Heidi's, privacy. Jared then goes on to say that he doesn't just want to leave the marriage with grace, but also style. A perplexing choice of words having people question how one could leave their marriage in style, and that this was to be anything but graceful. At the time of posting this, Jared had blocked Heidi on Twitter. 28 minutes later, Heidi posted something in response.
Oh no.
Quote, and recently learned
Oh
that
no.
my husband ProJared has been fucking Holly Conrad behind my back for months. I have no idea what announcement he just made because he blocked me. Unquote. A heavy accusation to make because, of course, the cheating, and that Holly Conrad, as of September 2018, separated from Rubber Ross. So, according to Heidi,
That was the guy from Game Grumps, right? Okay.
wasn't just cheating on anyone. It was the ex-wife of another public figure, Rubber Ross, meaning that this was contained within a public friend group. Adding fuel to this fire, Holly Conrad, also known as Commander Holly, replied in support of Jared's statement less than an hour later, saying, I'm so sorry you're going through this. I'm here for you if you need it.
That was dumb. Because if you're involved somehow, why on earth would you publicly respond and interject yourself into this situation? That was incredibly dumb. Especially if she knew that she was involved. She just keep quiet. Say nothing. Right?
To where Heidi tweeted at her, Honestly, Holly Conrad, you look very ashamed and insecure in all the nudes you sent my
What the
husband.
hell?
I think it would help your chronic self-esteem issues if you started fucking men that weren't already
Oh my
married.
god.
This wasn't even close to the extent of Heidi's statements. The post about Jared blocking her became an 8-post long thread, where she states she has
I have proof, explicit conversations and photographs of her relationship, or their relationship, he extensively lied to me about on many occasions. He was promising me he was committed to our relationship at the time and promising her he was breaking up with me. So telling both women that he wanted to be with both of them. He went so far as to blame me for being suspicious and making him feel like a bad person by questioning his loyalty. He gaslit me for months, insisting he had the bare minimum interactions with her and didn't even like her. Meanwhile, they were having sex.
proof of the cheating in the form of
Yikes.
conversations and photographs. She then goes on to accuse him of gaslighting and then states that they actually broke up back in February.
Jared tried very, very hard to make me feel responsible for everything that's gone wrong in our relationship. He tentatively broke up with me in February, insisting the only thing wrong with our marriage was me, insisting that he had tried to make things work. He was unable to confess to his infidelity, even when presented with proof. He squirmed in denial until the very last minute, getting angry and defensive instead of apologetic. I believe he was compartmentalized. He has compartmentalized his feelings and memories to suppress his guilt. He is very convincing.
But even prior to that, for the past year, according to her, he kept her away from their friend group by spreading a version of events that omits information that makes her
look bad. I spent the last year in near isolation, ostracized from Jared's friend group, because he made it clear to me that I was not welcome around them even when we were still together. He had to keep me separate to keep up his lies. He told his friends a version of events that omits his infidelity and portrays me as an aggressive and unreasonable person, as though I'm randomly angry and upset all the time for no reason. It's because he's abusing me. Jeez. So this is painting him as like the ultimate controlling scumbag. He wants everything. He wants a wife who he controls and just does what he says, won't complain, won't do nothing. He's out sleeping around. He's out with his friends doing whatever the hell he wants, and she's just supposed to take it. Purple Pickle, there's a super chat. Hell yeah, big ups, Jared, attaboy pimp. All right, Purple Pickle, enough of your support of his horrible actions. If they're real, because we don't know yet. This is just the initial report from May 2019. This is the first time it was ever on the internet. We don't know if this is real or not. But I don't want that. How dare you say that? It's absolutely upsetting. How could you? Okay, let's continue.
look worse. Closing by saying that his statement, most likely referencing him saying beware of rumors, was an attempt to silence her before she could say anything. At one point, according to Heidi, Jared even tried to get her to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Within 30 minutes of Heidi's response, this was trending worldwide on Twitter.
Yeah.
Even looking at the Wayback Machine, a fair portion of captures are captured in different languages. From here, things continued to escalate when Sin Jared was discovered. A secret Tumblr that Jared ran for the purpose of exchanging nudes with fans.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Before we even address this, Tumblr is, what, a photo website? Is it also social media? Is it both? I don't know, because I don't have a Tumblr. I never had one. So what they're saying is he had a photo website where he, like a photo social media site that was set up just to have photos, like lewd photos of his fans sent to him.
Many members of the deleted Tumblr came out against Jared because, according to them, he convinced them that they were allowed to exchange nudes because he claimed he was in an open relationship. And these ex-users...
Oh, come on! No!
Jared began posting various nudes of him on Twitter. Competing with those images was
No!
one of Jared positioned in a very sexual manner, where
No! Not again! I didn't know he put that picture in the documentary. I saw that in 2019 against my will. It was all over Twitter. And I clicked on it. I didn't know it was in this. It's all right. I promise you I will recover. Hold on a second. I just need to regroup. I'll be okay. It's not that bad. It's not nude. Thank God. Because I believe there are also nudes on the internet. I did not see those. We're going to have a lot to talk about soon. Purple Pickle did a super chat. This is better than Atomic Heart, man. Oh, no. Oh, he was just being a Street Fighter character for Halloween, says Matty Ice. I wasn't aware that Sailor Mercury was in Street Fighter. Oh, no. Maybe it was a good thing he didn't have his private life on the internet up to that point, right? I mean, this guy was into some stuff. Seriously. And, you know, we have not gotten into this yet. I'm sure it's going to get way deeper. However, I will say this. If you're a public figure, all right, you're someone who has a public presence anywhere, but in particular on the internet, all right, I just have to say, what on earth are you thinking and doing if you think that something like that is not going to get out? I mean, that is the most ignorant, gullible mindset. Can you believe, seriously, that's not going to somehow get out on the internet? This kind of stuff. Number one, just having the Tumblr to begin with. You know, whether or not you argue that's okay or not, because I'm going to give you my opinion on this later once we get more information on it. I have a very strong opinion on this that I will share with you, okay? But whether or not you think the Tumblr was okay, but naive, thank you. Naive is the word I'm looking for, Plum Girl. How naive can you be to think that you're going to be exchanging these lewd photos, you know, and they're not going to get out? Now, you're a public figure, right? If that gets out, obviously it's going to hurt your image. People, especially someone like Jared, who apparently had hidden his private life from everyone on the internet for good reason. He didn't want people to know about his private stuff. So why would you set yourself up for failure? That's literally what this is. It's a setup for failure, right? Everything he did on the professional side was well done. He collaborated with the right people. He cross-promoted. He used the YouTube algorithm to propel him to success. And then literally everything he's doing in his private life is wrong. He's setting himself up with so many liabilities around, right? He's married. Okay, that's fine. But now apparently he's cheating on his wife. He's controlling his wife. Again, we don't know if any of this is true yet. This is just what we know from the documentary so far. He's got a Tumblr where he's exchanging lewd nudes. He's cosplaying, cross-dressing. Again, not to say there's nothing wrong with that, but you can imagine that if that hits the internet, what's going to happen, right? I mean, it's common sense. And apparently it sounds to me like he's in a situation where maybe he's feeling top of the world. Oh, look at me. I'm making crazy money. I'm doing well with my YouTube channels. I'm super Look, he's going to these conventions. Everyone's kissing his butt like he's a celebrity. And he gets this feeling, this weird feeling of being immune, right? I'm immune. Nothing I do is going to hurt me. So I can do all these things behind the scenes, right? And, you know, I'll always be okay. Even if they, you know what I mean? And that's crazy to think. I would be terrified if I was putting shit out like that it would get out. And I can, listen, guys, if anything, all right, let me switch cameras for a second here, all right? Let's get real. I've been a content creator on the internet for 15 years. And I've been involved in many controversies. I've been involved in many situations where people have said slanderous, defamatory things against me. All right? Crazy allegations left, right, up, and down, all around. Multiple attempts to cancel me on all the social media platforms and everything, okay? And people still say to me to this day, they're like, how are you still around? This actually came up during this ProJared scandal when it was hitting the internet. They said, Phil, how the hell are you still around? And the answer is very simple, okay? Because I don't fuck around like that, all right? I keep my junk in my pants only with consenting people, you understand? All right? It's private. It's always been private, all right? I can wholeheartedly put my hand up like this. I guess you're supposed to put your right hand up when you swear. Are you ready for this? I have never cheated on a significant other in my entire life. and I never will. Okay, I can't. I have no intention of. All right. I love my wife. You know what I mean? Like never, ever have I ever fathomed a crazy thought like that in my life, nor would I. All right. I have never exchanged nudes. I've never, you know, done none of that. I've always kept myself out of that realm of risk. That is crazy stuff right there to me. That if you are going to have a public persona, that is the last thing you want. And it always leaks. Oh, even mainstream celebrities, it always leaks. You know, I don't have a secret Tumblr. I don't have any of that. Never. Why do you think, with all the shit that people say about me, okay, why do you think I'm still here? Because that doesn't exist. It just doesn't. It's not existent on the internet. It's never happened, okay? You're never going to have someone come to me, oh, he was a cheater, he beat me, you know, he abused me, he forced me to do this or that. You will never hear that from anyone I was ever involved with in my whole life, because that's not me. Wow. You're operating a public business to the internet, but you're operating a secret Tumblr where you're exchanging nudes with your fans. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Of course that's going to leak at some point in your life. Seriously. Now, I have other things to say, all right? But for now, that's where I'll leave it, because I think we need more elaboration on the situation. Like, what here is real and what's not. These are accusations being thrown around. This isn't necessarily things that have been proven true yet, right? Like what his wife said, we don't know if that's true or not, all right? Let's see how much further this goes, because I remember people were saying accusations of underage. We said at the beginning, underage people involved in stuff. That's crazy, so we got to go a little further. But at least for me, I promise all of you, I swear to all of you, that stuff has never, ever, I've never been involved with that kind of shit. That's why do you think I'm still here? You know, thank God you're never going to see the leaked DSP nudes. You're never going to hear about the secret, disgusting, fucked up Tumblr shit. Never. Never. I've never been like that. I actually, if anyone would ever say nonsense like that, you know what I'm saying? Queen of Hearts says, that's one good thing we know it has to be true. Your trolls dig for dirt on you every day. They've never been able to show anything, because there's nothing. I'm not like that. Find fucked up stuff about me, but you will never find that, you know? You could say I'm the dumbest guy on the planet, but I wasn't that dumb. All right? Okay. Nor do I have any desire to be. Like, I don't. Like, I've always, if I'm in a relationship with someone, that's the relationship I'm in, period. I'm a one-person relationship guy. I never, ever. If I'm not happy with the person I'm in the relationship with, I'm going to break up and go, you know, I'm not going to say, oh, stay in that relationship, but then have this relationship, and then have a fucking Tumblr. That's crazy. It's like, why can't you just be satisfied? If you are in a relationship and that relationship isn't good enough for you to satisfy you, you're not in the right relationship. Break up, move on. All you're doing is you're creating pain and suffering around you by fooling yourself into thinking this is something that should continue. It should not. It has to end, and then you move on positively in the future. It's that simple. You don't string people along. You know what I mean? And I always try to be honest with people if something's not working, you know? It sounds to me like that's the opposite. He had his wife, he had someone else on the side, he's got a Tumblr going. What is going on here? Right? But at least now we have an explanation why he's not uploading as much. Okay, that was a joke. Maybe that's not the case, but I'm just saying, like, wow, dude. Okay, we got to go back in there now. Purple Pickle, another super chat. He says, keep it off camera. Yes, that's also, yes, I will always keep it off camera. Would I rather see this or Wing shirtless bath videos? They're all in the same realm of vomit inducement. Okay, there you go. And I think I got $1 tip. No, I will absolutely agree here. I will absolutely agree here. Someone tipped $1, says, you gotta admit, ironically, isn't it ironic that picture we just saw of ProJared is not mentioned or shared 100th of the amount of times that your embarrassing incident pic is? You're absolutely right. And in my case, my face is just a stupid O face that's been on the internet for what, 8 years now? 7 years now? I can't even remember anymore. And there was nothing embarrassing really about it. Actors do this in movies all the time. This is not something embarrassing. As opposed to this guy is literally making the conscious. Mine was an accident. His is a conscious choice to act and look like that and capture it on film. But somehow that's not embarrassing, but my moment was. I don't know. I disagree. You know, I can laugh at my own stupid incident because it was an accident. It was a joke. It was stupid. Everyone laughed at it, right? You would think if anything was going to end you, that kind of thing would end you, right? But then again, maybe nothing ends you because, I mean, I guess we're both still on the internet and we're both content creators, right? But I will admit, it seems to me like, you know, everyone always wants to constantly bring up me and my embarrassment. But it's like, dude, there's content creators out there that have done way worse. Way worse. And they're still around too, you know. It's kind of crazy to think. Krausco, thank you for the super chat. No, you cannot be a moderator on the channel as of now. We actually do have moderators here. They're just shadow modding. Because I've actually seen a couple of people helping me out here today. And I appreciate it. If you're a moderator, thank you for helping. All right, like I said, this documentary is going to be an hour part. So we got about 10 minutes left before we split the part. So let's continue here. Oh, man. Did it seriously back out of it? It did. You son of a bitch. Now we got to find it again. What would that even be under? I guess subs, June the King. Let me go back to it. Where the hell is it? Here it is. Oh no! Oh, come on! Get this off the screen.
A picture that was posted prior to this chaos, but was now making its rounds through the internet. As for the people Jared was exchanging nudes with on
oh, okay. Thank you, June, for blocking these pictures. But maybe you could have edited those previous ones. I'm just saying. Interestingly enough, these pictures are from October 1st, 2018. The announcement of the marriage divorce was May 2019. So this was 6 months, 7, 8 months before that this was going on. Okay.
Tumblr, he stated that he sought only consenting adults and required confirmation from those he received pictures from.
Okay. Only consenting adults and required confirmation from those that he received pictures from. So he was carding people in order to receive their nudes. Okay.
That was a statement from Chai, a person that alleges that prior to their transition, sent Jared explicit pictures, making it clear to Jared several times that Chai was 16 at the time.
Wow.
Regardless, according to Chai, Jared encouraged it, and without Chai's consent, posted their nudes to the Send Jared Tumblr when Chai explicitly told Jared not to.
Wait, what? Now I'm even more confused. Wait a second. I thought the Tumblr was people were sending him the pictures. People sent him pictures, and he posted the pictures of other people to the Tumblr? What? What? Am I misunderstanding, or is that not what he posted them anyway? What? Are you insane? You want to talk about complete lack of any kind of awareness of reality? Do you have any idea the legal liability of posting up pictures of other people nude on an account, a social media account? What the hell is going on? This is like level on level. It's hilarious. Again, his professional career was every level of choice was correct and level of success it's like a pyramid of success. And then in his private life, it was like every level of wrong thing he could have done on top of it. So he's got a golden pyramid of YouTube success and an insanely stinky brown duty pyramid of fucked up stuff in his private life. Like, what on earth? By the way, 1 second, I want to unplug my battery because my battery I swapped earlier today, and I want it to be a backup for later, and I need to unplug it here. Good. Now, you understand that my criticism here is just the fact that he has this Tumblr and he's doing it. I'm not even addressing the underage thing yet, which I'm sure is going to become a bigger issue for him. I'm just saying, in general, you're operating... this is insane. This is not... I don't think there's a logical human who would look at the situation and says, that's a good idea. You're a public-facing figure with a business that is making tons of money. You're popular. You're well-liked in the gaming community. Why would you do this? You know? What an insane risk. If anything, you know what this sounds like? He's the kind of personality, and I'm no psychiatrist. He's the kind of personality, he gets off on risk. He gets an endorphin rush when he does things that are risky, and he gets away with it. How much do you want to bet? Every time he posted pictures to this Tumblr, he got this big rush, right? Oh, right? That's what it must be. Because why else would you risk everything like this? This is insanity. To me, that's like crazy to risk things like this. To me, my business is what puts food on the table for my family. It's what allows me to continue living where I live, having the life I have. Why in the holy hell would I put that at risk for something so stupid? You know? So, this is nuts to me. Purple Pickle did a super chat. He erased his game progress. He's now down to level 1 again. And then Bloom Kit also did a super chat. Thank you guys for your support today. Man, it's baffling to me to hear actions like this. Right? It's just, why? You're at the top of the world. Why risk it all? And again, sounds to me like that's because that's his personality type. The risk and the getting away with that risk, you know, that's, oh my God. It's like euphoria, right? All right, let's continue.
Chai stating that Jared reciprocated with nudes, but a very important aspect is that they were lacking any evidence whatsoever, and admitted to it. But even so, contacted Normal Boots and informed them of Jared's actions, to which they said they were taking very seriously. As for the evidence, Chai defers to a friend who says was also underage at the time, and supposedly has screenshots. This friend goes by Charlie, and tells a similar story to that at Chai's, believing they informed Jared they were 16 at the time, and claims there is evidence of it to much skepticism.
At the very least, what I can tell you guys now is my audience is not middle and high schoolers. I look at my stats on YouTube, and my stats on YouTube are, no exaggeration, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds. I'm not even kidding, not even 1% of my viewing audience registers as teens, because they don't watch me. I've been around too long. My opinions are not in line with the youth. I know that. But it sounds to me like maybe his were. But it's weird, because then they just say that he mostly reviewed retro stuff. That's not a young audience. So I don't know if I necessarily agree with this. I'd be interested to see what his demographics are like.
But not only did Charlie post chat logs where Jared is excited to pleasure himself to supposed images of Charlie also posted the header of the SimJared Tumblr to prove of its existence. All this was happening within 24 hours of Jared announcing his divorce. And in that chaos, all these accusations were being thrown around.
And again, okay, we gotta do this again now too. He named his Tumblr Sin Jared. Why? Why not name it something else? Maybe he thought if he didn't say it was him, people wouldn't believe it was him. And maybe that because he was using his celebrity to take advantage of his viewers to get them, you know, oh, I'm godsmacked. That I'm in awe that a celebrity wants to see my nudes, so I'll send them. But I mean, seriously talk about leaving a paper trail of wrongdoing. You named it your own name. Sin Jared. Sin Jared. As in Jared is committing sins. That's what he named it. Jeez. Purple Pickle, thanks for the super chat.
With Chai and Charlie's claims being the most damning, yet lacking the most evidence, providing only select chat logs. But even with a severe lack of evidence for more severe accusations, this destruction of Jared's image from multiple sources worked in tandem to destroy his credibility, and shaped the public perception of him into a terrible sexual deviant.
Right. Can you imagine?
Still, less than 24 hours in, among losing tens of thousands of subscribers, Normal Boots announced that Jared was no longer with
Wow,
them.
so they kicked him out. On April 4th, 2019, an unsolicited email was sent to the Normal Boots business account containing allegations of inappropriate conduct pertaining to Jared Nabenbauer. Upon receiving the email, Normal Boots manager Jacques Khalil took immediate action to alert the appropriate parties, including Mr. Nabenbauer and the Normal Boots legal team, of all the allegations. No other members of Normal Boots were made aware of the allegations while the investigation and allegations were ongoing. Normal Boots understands the seriousness of this situation and does not condone any of the alleged actions of Mr. Nabenbauer. Prior to these allegations being made public, actions and measures were in process to terminate the affiliation of Mr. Nabenbauer from Normal Boots and to update its internal social media use policies. Mr. Nabenbauer and Normal Boots have mutually agreed to part ways. No, you didn't. You fired him. What is this mutual agreement nonsense? You fired him. Just like Screw Attack fired him, you fired him. What drives Normal Boots is the energy of our supporters. We care greatly about their protection and safety. It's impossible to have a true community if all of us don't feel safe, whether in online space or conversation. We're fully committed to this goal and will not tolerate less. Okay.
An action we later learned was mutual, as Jared wanted to save Normal Boots from going down with him, making yet another controversial ex-member of Normal Boots. The other well-known one being JonTron, who in March of 2017 had an online debate with streamer Destiny, saying very controversial things that, among other things, led to his departure of Normal Boots. Here are two select quotes.
Oh, great.
More crime relative to wealthier black people?
They do. Wealthy blacks also commit more crime than poor whites. That's a fact.
Wait, what?
Yeah, look it up. Get out of here with that.
What?
Right,
Get out of here with what?
People like me are supposed to listen to people like you chatter on about this oppression in America. It doesn't exist, dude. It doesn't exist. There's
What are
no
you talking
oppression.
about?
In John's time of need, Jared...
Oopsie! Whoopsie! Oh my god, you complete dunce. What a grade A moron! Oy, oy, oy. Oh. Number one, if you want to argue about something like that, you do it in a context that makes sense, and you do it in a way that you will be able to fully express yourself and elaborate properly. You don't do it on Destiny's show. He's a very one-sided guy when it comes to issues like that. So you're talking to the wrong audience. You are going to address this with an audience that is going to crucify you for your statements. Because I hear that and I'm like, the statements he made are wrong. However, I think what he maybe was trying to say something else, or say it in a different way, or if he had elaborated, it would have made more sense. But that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But this is definitely not a documentary about JonTron. I heard about that before, that he had made dumb statements that got him canceled. But he's still around making content, right? He still makes content, so apparently he didn't get canceled for what he said. Anyway, so what's worse? What do you guys think? JonTron making comments like that on a show from someone who obviously is not going to agree. It's a captive audience of people who are going to be completely, attacking you for saying that. Or someone like ProJared having a very popular YouTube account and then in behind the scenes doing all this deviant stuff, right? Like, Expandong says JonTron bought statistics, but he worded everything badly. There you go. That's what I mean. Like, if you're going to have an argument, you have to have that argument ready and prepared, and you don't go on Destiny's show to present it. Because it doesn't matter what you present, he isn't going to care. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's saying ProJared's worse. Everyone's saying ProJared's way worse. Wow. Okay. All right, guys. It's now time to split the part here. So if you're enjoying this react, by the way, we're just under halfway through. I hope you're enjoying it. Thank you for watching. Remember, ways that you can support DSPReacts if you like this long-form project would be watching the videos, liking the videos, leaving comments on the videos, maybe a super thanks on a video if you're enjoying it, perhaps a tip. If you look at the description of the video, it'll tell you how. And also, please consider becoming a member here on the channel. Memberships are key, and that's basically the main source of income here on the channel. And if you do membership, you can participate in the discussion and or voting on the next long-form react that I will be doing here. Okay? So, consider it. All right? Thanks so far. So far, I'm having a great time on stream with all of you. And let's split the part, and we'll resume. Thank you so very much.